How's it going, everyone? This is James from OP Poker. Today, we found something new on the PokerStars client, which is 6+ spin and goes. So we're going to jump into a game right now and talk all about it. So from the lobby, it looks like they've got $1 stake, $3, $15, $30, and $100. I'm going to sit a 100 and a 30. These are quite new, so I don't know if they'll run that quickly, so I'm just going to wait for both and play whatever comes out first. All right, so we managed to get a 100 going. We're going to play for 300 bucks, playing against a heads up hyper guy, God of heads up. I think he plays some other formats as well, clearly. And then Santa's, I don't know, but could well be a good player. I think right now I probably will have an edge because I just went into the lab before these games came out. While Nick was streaming, I was using a few equalator programs, one called Arranges Calc. I think is good. I'm just going to talk to the developer a little bit about a few things, and then it is good. If I do want to recommend it in the future, I'll put a link down below at some point. Just looking at how equities work, because this game, the equities run very close to each other. So you really have to be on the ball, especially pre-flop, how well hands do against each other. So that's what I've been doing, and I think I'm ready to make some money. Let's see if we can do it. If these hundreds run a lot, that would be great. If they don't, that's fine as well. I've got a straight here, but a flush beats me and any queen beats me, and ace queen, of course. So I'm not that strong. I probably won't bet. If someone does bet themselves, I am probably going to fold to God of heads up, but I would call Santa if he did bet. Unless he bets like 50. I just don't think I'm going to get called by much worse than my hand, so there's that. I'm going to raise kings. I could also limp it, but I'm going to raise it. The sizing, I'm not entirely sure yet on what sort of size. I'm bordering on between 5x and 6x when we're free-handed. But if someone wants to tell me that's wrong, you very well could be right. I just want to create a little bit of fold equity against the button. That would be ideal. On a board like this, it's not great for kings. But overpair is overpair. They have 9-10, we're in big shit. I can bet or check. Generally in this game you want to be super aggressive, especially when you have a hand like this. But instead I'm just going to go for a check ship instead of anything else. The sizing doesn't really tell me too much, but it doesn't look like he wants to protect his hand that much as well. I'm just going to go for a check ship. It's going to be hard for me to get out of there anyway, and I just wanted to get a bit of extra money before I shove it in. There's going to be lots of spots where you're like, why, James, are you shoving when there's only 160 in the pot or 120 in the pot for 500 chips? Why are you doing that? And the problem with this game, or the good thing about this game, depending on what you like/dislike, is equities run very, very close. So therefore, you want to deny other people's equity as quickly as possible, is what I did there. There are so many turn cards I don't like because mainly I don't have a spade. And there are already lots of straight possibilities that can come out to 4 of a straight. That will happen very often. Ace-8, I'm going to go for a bet. I'm probably the only guy that has lots of 6s in their range because both of these players should know that 6 is very bad for them, so therefore I have the best range of hands being on the button because I didn't raise, and I could have had any 2 because I'd already paid my blind. So I had any 2, and any 2 has lots more 6s than good hands, right? Okay. If you want to know about rake for this game, it's the same as regular spin and goes, so I think this should be a fairly profitable format. I'm going to try and grind it out. I'm currently doing a $30 to 30k challenge, Might not be able to do the hundreds all the time, but we'll see. Depends how big of an edge I can get. Otherwise, I might have to wait till I get to 10k or 15k bankroll before we jump into these. Depends how these games run, how confident I feel in my ability. We've got Queen 10 here. I could have raised pre-flop, but then if I do raise, I need to make it an amount that I either commit myself or don't commit myself, just depending on how I want to play. I'm quite happy to play post-flop though with my Queen 10, and then I'm gonna raise. I commit myself, so I'm just gonna call. Obviously, we were looking for a jack. Jack didn't come. What do I want to rep once he checks to me? I guess I want to turn my hand into a bluff here. That's not a bad river card to bluff. I think we'll just rest in. Nice hand with King 8. I like this play. Not bad. It's going to be... I'm guessing this is a good player. Generally speaking, so far, what I've been playing against is people who are... if they have trips, they're always betting. That's generally what I've been up against. This is the first time it's been like that. I like bluffing there because a lot of my hands now have a straight. Apart from these type of hands, so Queen Jack, Queen 10, 10 Jack, those kind of hands, of course, are missing. But generally speaking, I'm presuming that my opponent's range is full of more bluff catchery type hands than value. And I was presuming that the player pool won't be balancing their check range that well. So I was definitely over bluffing that spot. I need to be aware that this player probably knows how to play. I'm damn sure God of Heads Up knows how to play. Because they have a reputation. So let's see if it precedes them. Oh. Ace-8 doesn't perform that well free-handed, especially as soon as someone else has a better ace than me. But at the same time, I'm really, really short-stacked. I don't like folding, but I'm going to do it. Being up against ace-queen and king-queen is probably bad enough for me to not want to call, but I'm not sure. Maybe we can look at that spot another time. Anyway, we are so shallow, I'm just going to play basically push or fold. It's kind of a bit of guesswork for me so far, as to whether I want to push or fold. I think people are overvaluing small pocket pairs so far, so they're shoving pocket sixes, pocket sevens and stuff, but quite large amounts, which is just not a good idea at all. Don't do it. They perform really badly against two overcards. So let's say someone raises pocket sixes and I have 10-9 suited and I call, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. I have a gut shot, but I'm not going to play it. 7-8, do I want to shove? Do I want to shove? Go on then. If I can get folds, it's a good shove. 10-8 suited. This is a spot where most of the time we're going to be flipping. Unfortunately, not when they have us dominated. No good. But it's a game of close equities. You really have to think about how well the hand that you're calling with does against their range, just like in regular Hold'em. And if you were to look at that a lot, you'll see that suited connectory type hands that are fairly high, so we're talking 10-9, 9-8 and higher, perform pretty well against a quite strong range. So given there's already these antes in the pot and our button ante, we're gonna have to call that. It's not ideal. That's what happens. Unfortunately, we didn't win this one. But we can try and get another one going. Okay, so we managed to get a heads up game. Sorry, a spin and go game. $100. Again, we're playing against God of Heads Up. And a new player this time, Cash Muzi. I haven't seen them playing just yet. Pocket Jacks. Quite hard to play. Quite a hard hand to play. I'm sure you can play it post flop, but right now I'm just happy to take these 30 chips in the middle and just shove all in. If I can get away with it, I'm quite happy to just take it. One of those hands that is kind of annoying and hard to play. So if I'm going to play it, generally it's going to be as a shove, especially when you got all these antes to play for. Got all three of our antes and then the button blind as well. I'll take those 20 chips. So it looks like we got a reg in the pool, which is sort of heads up. We should relabel them reg. The blind levels, let's have a look at the blind levels. The blind levels are 3-minute blinds. I think that's similar to regular spins. Start at 5, so you start 100 antes or big blinds effective. Then you move to 10, so then now you're all 50 effective, and then it goes to 15, then 20, then 30. Those are the normal limits that you'll be playing at. I can deal with that. I think that's pretty good. I think the games should be quite fun to play. Not if we got God of Heads Up every single game, of course, but in general, be good. They are fairly new. I don't know if there's any advertisement out for it yet. But I'm glad we went into the lab to learn how to play this. I've completely bricked my straight draw. The question is, what do I want to bluff with? This lead out doesn't make that much sense. Is this one I want to shove on or not? Not really. Just doesn't make sense, which is kind of problematic to me. Does that mean that he's always got it or not at all? Yeah, it's a weird one. So when you're check calling this flop, you don't have that many king X in your range normally. So when the king comes out and I carry on betting and then another king comes out and you start leading out, it's just like, well then what have you got? Have you got pocket 8s, 9, 10 maybe, pocket 8s, pocket 7s, pocket jacks maybe? So you're saying you're very, very strong or got nothing. I can't win, so I'm gonna presume he's full of shit too much and shove, which is what I did. I'm not gonna say that's a good play yet. I'm still experimenting. These are experimenting times. You're gonna see lots of stuff that maybe in the future you'll look back and laugh at. Jack 10, I'm quite happy to play post flop, so I'm gonna try and limp. If anyone does end up raising me, I'm not going anywhere. I'll either be limp jamming or limp calling, depending on the size upon which they make it. I don't have to go anywhere. I've got a gut shot, but I am out of position. There are a few ways I can play it. I can play it as a bet, or I can play it as a check and then either check raise or check call. I'm going for a lead out. As the open limper, I have probably got the strongest range pre-flop on this board, maybe not anymore, but I could have things like overpairs and they can't, and then you can play really, really aggro on those. Turn card hasn't been that great for me, and against the big bet. Fold. Ace 10, I can play it a number of ways. I mean, it should be fairly playable hand, so I'm just gonna make a nice size raise, and then if I get pushed all in, I have to go all in. If I don't, then we can play post flop. I've completely bricked, so I'm gonna have to let this go. I do like that they're thinking about leading out. You got to do a lot of leading out in these games because when equities are close pre-flop, it means that flop textures can now be better for my opponent than myself. So he's decided that King 9-8 board, it's better for him to just shove. I do like that they're doing that. Okay, so we're what? 50 antes deep. I'm going to go for a limp. I'm not... You could raise, maybe you could even shove. But quite happy to try and play it. Against a very, very large raise, I'm going to fold. I could be up against ace, king, ace, queen. It kind of has me in trouble. Quite happy to just leave my 10 chips. That's a very, very large raise. Wouldn't be surprised. If I wasn't already blocking a king or a queen, I wouldn't be surprised if that was queens or kings. Kind of how I would expect a new player to be playing those kind of hands. Queen 9 suited. Probably gonna have to let this go. The time down now. I'm gonna go for a raise, and then if I am shoved on, I guess it's time to fold. I think it's 60 or 70. I'm gonna go for 70. If this guy shoves on me, or this guy shoves on me, it's not in a great spot at all. I really don't like raise folding, but don't think it's gonna happen that often if I'm not completely crushed. Now we got top 2, and we're gonna bet for value. Not the best turn card, but we have still got 2 pairs, so we're gonna call. Not the one today. Did get it in good though. We had 75% equity, so can't be too upset. Anyway. Hope that's been a good introduction to these spin and goes. I will be playing them on stream quite a lot. I'll probably be mixing up the 30s and the 100s. As you can see, the bankroll is at $6,534 now. So we are going to have to be occasionally taking shots at the 100s to go with the 30s. Can't just be grinding out the 100s right now. The variance is probably going to be too high. Yeah. So if you want to come check it out, $30 to 30k challenge. I will be live most Fridays and most Mondays, as well as possibly any day of the week. Really depends on who else is streaming on our channel. Nick, the other streamer on our team, will also be playing these. I think he will be probably mixing the 15s and 30s. He hasn't played as much 6+ as me yet, so he probably won't be playing the 100s yet. But if we're doing well, I'm sure we'll move up as quickly as possible. It seems like a really fun format. Very, very push or fold heavy. Might look a bit gambly, and to gamblers it is gambly, but just like in regular spin and goes, you know what you're doing, you're going to eke out a win rate. I think probably can just get as many chip EV win rates as regular spins, and I enjoy them because they're a new format. So I'm going to be trying them out, playing them out, and we'll see how it goes. If you have any questions about 6+ or 6+ spin and goes, ask them in the chat. In the comments section. If you want to talk more about them, we have a Discord channel which has a 6+ Hold'em section. Lots of people giving their opinions on the games right now. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the session. I will bring out some more as soon as I'm feeling more confident on how I'm playing. Anyway. See you on the stream. Peace.